What's up? What's up? Yeah, 97 degrees. Just have to get the mail afterwards. How's it going? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. How's everybody doing? Yeah, it's gonna be a hot one today, I think. No wind at all, no clouds. 95 outside. How's everybody doing today? Let's see who's in here. I can hardly read it, but I'll read it when I get to work. Usually, usually about 45 to 50 minutes or so. Yeah, so it's 119 here in the afternoon, 95 degrees here in sunny California. There's the avocado guy. 20 avocados for $5. Yep. So how's everybody doing? Make sure you check out the community tab that I have. Check all the channels there. Check out the family and friends. Check out all my channel list. I got over 600 channels there. There's magnet fishing channels. There's fishing channels. There's reptile channels. There are arachnid channels. Isopods. There's channels that help you grow your channel better. Channels like James Skype Guide, AAP, Kurt Wood, Little Feedings. And we got Derek Reptiles, he does interviews. Spider Mom, she does spiders, of course. She's got other animals too. You got Mark the Spider Guy. We have Keys Constrictors. He does boas. He's trying to get to 1K. If you're not subscribed to him, subscribe to him. He's around. I think he's trying to hit 900 right now. Every time he hits one, he gives away stuff, T-shirts, and some other stuff. I won one of them, so I got a T-shirt, and it gives you wristbands, stickers, a bunch of other stuff. Go check them out. It's Terry and Keisha from Keys Constrictors. There's other channels there. Let's see, Iron Dog, My Animal House. Give a prayer for Iron Dog. He's fighting cancer. I guess he didn't get good news the other day from the treatments he's been getting, so he needs prayers. Prayer for my mom, everybody. She's getting cataract surgery in one eye on Tuesday. Everybody, pray for her, make sure everything goes right. She's in her 80s. Anytime you go under, you know how it is. But yeah, and then check out also Zelda Diecast. He has Hot Wheels. He races Hot Wheels. Great channel. He's from Indonesia. Check out Kelly Caldwell. He gives you information about how to grow your channel. Check out all the channels. There's also Venus Martinez. She speaks English and Spanish. Habla Español. So go check her out. She helps you connect with other YouTubers. Don't forget AAP, James Guy. I got a lot of other channels. There's so many, there's over 600 channels there. And it keeps growing. Okay, here's the bad part of the internet. So we might be going in and out here. How's everybody doing? Say hello to everybody in the chat. We'll see how people are driving today. You know how people are always driving crazy. I guess they think they own the road or something. Necessarily, it's not always a building. It's always they burn the fields to replenish them, to make them more, warm up burn up all the bad weeds and everything in the field, and then it heats up the ground. I guess it helps grow the vegetables afterwards. Yeah, look at these people flying. Yeah, I mean, I worked security in so many different places. From just watching a canal where there's a pump to pump water out. Did security in schools. Yeah. Yeah, me and my cousin, who also worked in security also, he unfortunately already passed. He passed away 2019. He had a heart attack while he was in the shower. I mean, the only good thing was he went fast, didn't have to be stuck in a hospital for a long time. That's always the worst thing to do, is be stuck in a hospital and basically just give them money pretty much, because if you're at a stage where you're not going to survive, I mean, there's no sense in keeping you alive. But yeah, we also worked together in other places up north. We used to work at a furniture store. We used to load up furniture into cars and stuff like that. People go buy a whole dinette set, with 4 chairs. And then they bring a little Corolla, and then they bring the whole family, so, you can't fit anything in the car. They want to take everything home with them, And I tell them, well, they do have delivery. No, they don't want to pay for the delivery. I go, okay. Well, at least they brought a blanket, So we put the blanket on the roof so it doesn't get scratched. And then we flip the table upside down, put the table upside down of the roof. And then we tell the guy, all right, everybody get inside the car, put all the windows down. Then we start tying we put the chairs also in between the table, pretty much like one chair into another chair. And they're like, they're inside the car, so we start tying up the legs of the table and the chairs and tie everything together. And then put it's like twine, it's plastic, put it through the windows, and the doors, so everything's getting tied up nice and tight, so it's not going to go nowhere. Then you hear the wife, it's like, oh, they're tying us into the car. How are we going to get out? And the husband's all like, don't worry about it. We'll find out when we get home. I mean, it was simple. If you have a knife, you just cut the rope, or jump out of the vehicle through the window, They weren't heavy people anyways, they were healthy people. They could jump out the window. But yeah. And then we had another person, they bought another piece of furniture. It was like one of those little corner units, where you put your little knickknacks in the corner, with glass in the front and in the sides, and it was kind of like triangular shape in the back, so it would fit in the corner perfectly, and it was kind of rounded in the front, so yeah, so then it was rounded in the front, and it was only about maybe, I'd say about 5 feet inches. I mean, 5 feet tall. 5 feet. So they were driving a 2-door, an old Dodge, one of those big wide old cars, not the new ones. New ones are small. I'm talking about the old ones. Where it's at least like 5 inches and a half in the back seat. You could easily fit something there. So they both got off. They pulled into the driveway where we were. And they backed in, opened up their 2 doors. They got out, and then we put the seat down in the front. You got to push it forward so you can get in the back. So then my cousin, he sat down inside the car, and then I'm feeding the thing into the car, through the door, but I can't see into the car because it had tinted windows. Plus, I'm like taller, I'm like looking over the roof of the car. So I'm looking over the roof of the car, and I'm pushing it in, and it's like the last 10 inches, it's like, what the heck, it's not going. And I tell my cousin, what the heck, it should fit. I mean, it's not that big, and we're like, what the heck? And my cousin, he's sitting there, with the thing on his lap, and he's laughing, he's like laughing and laughing and laughing. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And I could keep pushing it, and it wouldn't go any further. And I'm like, what the heck? I mean, like, what's going on? What's going on? I kept telling him. And then finally I go, well, take it out. So I take it out, and then once I take it out far enough, from the other door on the other side, all of a sudden this little lady comes out the other side, and she's all saying, I couldn't get out. I guess we were smashing her head with the thing in the other, next to the other side of the car. We had her trapped. She couldn't get out. She was all like, I couldn't get out. And then nobody said anything that there was a little lady in the back. I mean, Jesus. So then she got out. We put it in the back. It fit perfect. And then she sat in the middle because it was like a bench seat but split. So you could sit three people. It had a little hump in the middle, but still, you could sit three people. But oh my God, that was so funny. I mean, the poor little lady, getting smashed in the back seat. And my cousin, instead of telling me something, he's like laughing and laughing and laughing. I go, why didn't you tell me something, dude? Oh, but that was funny. That was funny. And then you get the people that get that buy a whole, you know, like a sectional, and they had ottomans also, where you put your feet up. It was like about, uh, it was pretty big. It had a lot of pieces. But he had a truck, so we fit them all in the truck, and he had the tailgate down, and we tied them all down and stuff. And then we told him, just don't drive, don't drive fast, because you got a lot of stuff on there. It's gonna move. The load's gonna move, and if you don't check it and tie it up tighter again, it's gonna get loose. Oh, this guy. Oh, don't worry, my cousin. He's gonna be driving behind me in his car. Keeping an eye on the stuff in case it falls down. Well, these guys, they're on the damn freeway going 70 miles an hour, and then one of the pieces falls off, and the other guy, he pretty much ran it over with his car, destroyed it completely. You know, when it hit the ground, it already broke into pieces, and then he finished it off by running it over. And then he comes back and says if it's covered, it's like hey, once you leave here, it's yours. That's why we asked you. You don't want to pay the delivery fee. They don't want to pay it was like 30 something dollars, I think. But they take it out to your house and offload it and everything. Put it into your house wherever you need it. But people are too cheap. They don't want to pay. So destroyed it. Then there was another lady. She came looking for one of the sales guys. This was this Mexican guy, and he was short. I think he was probably like 5 feet tall, and he was married, but he was like a Casanova. He's like over here talking to the ladies. Oh, hey mama, hey mamacita, and hey beautiful, what's going on? He's trying to make a sale. Talking to them all nicely, and going, oh, you look good, honey, this and that. But they once the sale's over, that's it. But they think, oh, I'm gonna keep at it. Come back another day, and so she comes back the next day, looking for him. And it's all, hey, where's, I think his name was Manuel, I think. He's like, where's Manuel at? I'm looking for Manuel. And he knew, he's like, oh shit, that lady's looking for me. I'm going to hide. So he goes over there, we had a big showroom, so you can actually hide anywhere, like behind a sofa somewhere. Nobody could see you. So it's all like, hey, well, what can we help you with? Oh, I'm looking for Manuel, because I guess she bought a sofa that's kind of like they call it like a Cleopatra sofa, where you can you sit in it. It's like real long. You can put your feet up and everything. It's all one piece, and it's like a only one person seat. It's like a chair, but it's like nice and soft. Well, this lady, she's pretty big. She was easily over 200 pounds. And then she's not gonna lay on it softly. She would jump on it. So what she did, she cracked all the boards, underneath that hold the springs and the foam up. So so the so she sent it back, saying, oh, it was defective. It said, she didn't say she jumped on it. We all know it. She did, because that's the only way you're gonna break those. You can sit on it, lay on it, put your feet up. They ain't gonna break. But if you if you stand on it or jump on it, of course it's gonna break. So then the guy, we went to go see the guy, the fixes the furniture, and then he goes, and we asked him. He goes, "Hey, what's up?" So she's here to see if her sofa thing, Cleopatra thing is ready. And he goes, "Oh yeah, it's ready." So he goes, "Well, what does she want? She wants this. Is she gonna take it with her so we can load it up, or is she gonna have it, or we're gonna deliver it?" You know. And then I guess they were gonna deliver it, and I think there was gonna be no charge because supposedly it was a defect. So we were gonna deliver it. So she goes, "Oh, okay, then." So she left, and they delivered it. And then I asked him, "Hey, so what happened to the couch, that Cleopatra couch?" And he's all like, "Oh yeah, man, she jumped on it and cracked the boards underneath. They have pretty good sized boards, but not if you're gonna jump on it." So I go, "So how'd you fix it?" He goes, "Ah, man, I put a 2x4. He goes flat, the 4 inches wide, right in the middle. So there's no way." And he put extra screws and everything. So there's no way that thing's gonna break. He goes, "I fixed that thing." But yeah, he's like, she's gonna jump again. She's gonna hurt herself. You know, that'll be the last time she jumps on it. She can sit. It's nice and soft still, but if she jumps on it, she's gonna hit the board. So he's all like, "Yeah, I fixed it." But yeah, I mean, that was a good place to work at. Me and my cousin, we used to work there. It was only like 2 months. We ended up working 3 months because then they had another warehouse that we had, because they were closing the warehouse because I guess the owners of the property, they didn't want them there anymore, so they kind of raised the rent to the point where it wasn't worth their while to stay there. So they had a big sale, sold a bunch of furniture there. They brought furniture from LA. This was up in San Jose area, Santa Clara County. It was Gold Key Furniture. And yeah, he even liked the way we worked. He offered us jobs. He goes, "If you want to move, if you're going to go to LA area, I'll give you a job over there." But we said, "No, no, no, thanks. That's okay." We got it through Manpower. That's a pretty good company. Looks like somebody crashed that curve there again. They always seem to crash it, man. At least once, more than once a month. It's this little curve here, and I guess people don't pay attention. The road curves a bit, and they think they're going straight and end up crashing it or falling asleep. I don't know but that darn curve there, they crash it when semis hit it, man. They really destroy it. I think it might have been that van. It was like a little minivan that hit it yesterday when I drove by here, and it was like they were parked on the side of the road on the other side. So, yeah. But it was a lot of fun working there. Loading furniture, unloading, offloading furniture from trucks, trailers. We used to get loads of mattresses, sleeper sofas, dining room sets. We had all kinds of different kind of furniture. They even had dishes and silverware. You know, they had a lot of anything for the home pretty much. But yeah, it was pretty good. We had fun there. And I mean the boss, he really liked us. I mean, in fact, he used to buy everybody. The guy was real nice. He used to buy everybody lunch. He would cater lunches, so you wouldn't even have to bring lunch. In fact, one time he gave us his credit card, his company credit card, and he told my cousin and me, and then he goes, "Yeah, you can take." He goes, "You could take dummy too." He goes, "There was this one kid that was working with us, because they would always send different people from Manpower there, and none of them would last. They would get fired, or they would just tell them, 'Nah, we don't need you anymore,' because they wouldn't do any work. They would just hide. Me and my cousin, we would always, "Hey, need any help doing something?" We were always trying to stay busy all the time. move furniture around, whatever they wanted us to do, load furniture, anything that we could find doing. And he goes, here, give us the credit card. And when I asked him, I go, well, I don't know where we could go eat. He goes, hey, well, why don't you guys go to Red Lobster, And I'm like, oh, Red Lobster, okay. I had never been to Red Lobster, so I'm like, okay. So my cousin and the other guy and all three of us, we went. And then he also gave me his phone number, his personal phone number. He goes, because I know that, it's a company credit card, so they're gonna probably call me and I'll have to approve it or tell them that it's fine. So I told him, oh man, I wonder if it's gonna be enough, in the credit card. I go to go buy lunch, go buy lunch and stuff. And then he tells me, he goes, oh yeah, he goes, that credit card there, it has a lot, enough money in it. This was back in the 80s, and he's all like, yeah, that card has enough money, you can buy a house. He goes, it's got over $200,000 limit. I'm like, oh shit, well, I'm like, hey, bye, I'll see you later. Of course I was kidding. But yeah, so we went to Red Lobster, and then we sat down, and then they have they have a tank. I don't know if you've ever been to Red Lobster. They have a tank there with the lobsters that you can eat. They're live. You can actually pick your own lobster if you want, because they charge you by the pound, whatever it weighs, so if you get a 2 pound or 3 pound lobster, they're going to charge you whatever it is, so then I didn't eat lobster, I got a steak, with vegetables, baked potato, and then my cousin, they got lobster, and the other guy did, they got lobster and something else, I don't know if it was steak and lobster, but yeah, it was a good amount we spent. It ended up being like close to $60, I think it was. And then we, of course, give that person a tip. Wasn't our money, So yeah, it's like oh yeah, So then we went to the once we finished eating, then I go to pay, and then they give you the receipt, how much it is, and I'm like, oh man, they're gonna call somebody, they're like, because you sign your own name, then you show them your license, and then so then they got, I go, here's the phone number of the boss, the owner of the credit card, you can call him, he'll approve it, if you have a problem. So yeah, they called him, and then he's all, yeah, don't worry, yeah, that's fine. And of course, we also had dessert too, so that's why it was so much, So it was a lot, I guess, back then, the 80s, I mean, now, over $10 for a meal is nothing. You're gonna pay at least $20 for a meal, with a drink and dessert, whatever you're gonna get. But yeah, so he went back. He goes, oh, so how was it? Oh yeah, it was good. He asked me if I got a lobster. I go, nah, I wasn't into that. I mean, I've never eaten it. I didn't want to try. Who knows? You never know if you're allergic to it or whatever, and then have an allergic reaction there in the restaurant, But it was good, I mean, I've eaten shrimp, I've eaten, the deep fried shrimp. I mean, that. Fish, I've had fish before, I've never had salmon. I've eaten tuna, of course. Everybody has tuna. Tuna in the can, but never ate fresh tuna. You know, but yeah, it was great there. And then also in Christmas time, right before we almost finished, he threw a dinner for us. We went and ate at a fancy dinner, and it was like an Italian had steaks and also Italian food, different kind of foods, and they also had entertainment. I mean, that's the first time I ever went to a place like that. And the entertainment was a belly dancer. There was this girl dancing, with veils, and she, excuse me. Oh, yeah, and then she's taking off the veils, and moving her body, and then she laid on the ground. Then she puts a coin on her stomach, and with her stomach, she's flipping the coin. But yeah, I mean, he paid for that whole dinner, and took all the staff. It was about 20 of us. Whatever staff that was left, we were because they were less and less. People were leaving. Some salesmen stayed till the last. They ended up with maybe like 5 or 6 salesmen left. Plus us that were in the warehouse, and then they had like 3 other people in the warehouse. There was some girls in the office, and then also the girl that worked in the office in the warehouse, where the deliveries go out and stuff. But yeah, it was great. The guy was a great boss. I mean, when I met him the first time, I didn't even know who he was. I mean, I thought he was just a regular, one of the managers. I didn't know he was the owner. This guy was the owner of Gold King. Yeah, I guess it was owned by 2 brothers. I think it was 2 or 3 brothers, and he was one of the main guys. Each guy had his own store. So but yeah, it was a good company to work for. They took care of their employees. They would even give them Christmas bonuses and stuff like that. I mean, he gave us a bonus too. I mean, he's all like, here, he gave us, I think it was $60, for me and my cousin, so $30 each. Back then was a lot of money. I mean, minimum wage back then was like, I think it was like five something an hour, I think. So I mean, $30. You're talking. That was like almost 6 hours of work. So yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, the guy was real nice. And then I remember then in Christmas time, some girl bought some bread. And they said, hey, you want some bread? I baked, some cake and some. She said, I didn't know, I had never tasted this kind of cake or breading. I don't know if you know what rum balls are. And I didn't know what they were. I'm like, I was in my 20s already. I was probably like 20, like 25, 26. Let me see, 1980. Like 1980s. Now, yeah, I was maybe like in, no, actually like 20, 22, 21, 22, And, I quit drinking when I turned 21. So, I hadn't drank in a while, And then my, the lady, the girl that made them, she's all, here, try them. And they were good, I was like, oh man, it's these balls made of cake. But the thing is, I didn't know they had, the reason they're called rum balls because they have rum, alcohol in them. And I'm like, oh, I was eating them like candy almost. here I am, and I'm like, later on, I'm buzzed, I'm like, what the heck? How come I'm feeling kind of buzzed? And then she's all like, oh, yeah, you do know they have alcohol in them. I'm like, what? I mean, it doesn't have that much because, when the baking, it goes, it loses some of its, I guess, its strength, but still, the liquor, it still gets you. Especially, I mean, they're not that big, they were like donut holes, pretty much, kind of like donut holes. And I mean, I ate like maybe like six of them. Then once I found out what they were, I'm like, oh no, no more for me, man. Oh shit. Plus, I had to drive. I had to drive home from work. I had like almost like a 25-minute drive, 20-minute drive to get home. I didn't want to get pulled over for drunk driving or something. But I wasn't, it was like during the beginning of the day. So by the time, and then I ate food and, I was okay by the time I had to go home. But man, I was like, oh man. I was like, never again, man. Always ask what you're eating, what's in this shit. And I guess the name should have told me rum balls. It's like cognac balls. Oh yeah, sounds good. Even my sister, she's made cakes before like that. I've never tried them, but she's made them. Rum cake and some other ones. I mean, when we were little, our parents used to drink, give us alcohol. Mexican families, that's the way they are. They give their kids alcohol when they're young. Like, here, become a man. Put hair on your chest, as they would say. And then they, yeah, so they would, put rum or any kind of alcohol in the cakes. And then my mom, they used to give, there's this drink that's made in Mexico. It's called like, I think the nuns make it. I think it even has a picture of a nun in front of it, and it looks almost like eggnog. I think it might be like Mexican eggnog. It has alcohol in it. I mean, oh man, that thing tastes good. The it's like real creamy with like, it's like almost like tapioca. No, like pudding, like eating vanilla pudding kind of, but with alcohol in it. I mean, hey, it was they would give us like a little shot, like those shots of when you drink really strong liquor. They have those little cups. Yeah, she would give us a little bit of that, like half a cup. And you're like, oh man, and we were teenagers. We were like, no, actually, we weren't even teenagers. I think we were like 12, 11 or 12 years old at the time. So, yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, when you're an adult, you go to a party in Mexico, Mexican families, everybody drinks, And if you don't drink, it's like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? But your wife doesn't let you drink, your mommy doesn't let you drink, or they're always teasing you, and I'm like, no, I just don't drink. I tell them I don't drink, stop drinking, because I didn't want to drink. But yeah, I remember one time going to the beach over there in Santa Cruz Beach. There was this girl, she was a friend of mine, and then I go, you know what, I'm gonna go to Santa Cruz. You want to go? Yeah, she goes, okay, And this girl, she had these big eyes. I mean, I don't know if have you ever seen the cartoon called Betty Boop? it's a old cartoon. Back when Mickey Mouse, and was the first drawings of Mickey Mouse. Betty Boo back in war times. She was a cartoon that it was kind of like really. She had showing off her chest and short skirt. And it was a cartoon, but it was really like an adult cartoon almost. But it never showed anything. But it was Betty Boo, and that's the way she looked. Her hair was kind of short and curly. In fact, she had curtains in her room. Because one time when I went to her house, and we were in her room, and she showed me her curtains. She had Betty Boo. She loved everything that had to do with Betty Boo, and she did have big eyes like that too. So we went to the beach. We went to the over there in Santa Cruz, and there was this guy walking around. He was all drunk. This guy's walking around the beach, and then he's walking, and then he's like walks, and then a little bit, and then all of a sudden there he goes, face first into the sand. Boom! He was falling into the sand with his face first. Then he would get up and he'd walk a little bit more, and then boom again. And then we were laughing, like, look at this guy. Tomorrow he's gonna wake up and he's gonna say, "Oh, I had a great time at the beach, man. I had all kinds of fun." He's not gonna remember the times that he hit the floor, hit the sand with his face. He's not gonna know why his face is all red from hitting the sand every time. Probably ends up with a black eye or something, But then one of my compadres, he's a friend of mine, and then I ended up being his compadre because I baptized one of his kids, and he used to always drink, and his mom, he's all like, "Hey, go. She wanted me to take him out because we used to go out, go check out a movie, go eat first, go eat some pizza, and then we'd be at the pizza place, I'd buy him, we'd buy a pitcher of soda, not beer. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna enjoy going out, watching a movie, not getting drunk, Because when he would go with his other friends, he'd always get drunk, come home all drunk, don't even remember what he did. And that reminds me because one day, because he was my neighbor, and we lived upstairs in apartments, a 2-bedroom apartment upstairs, and then he lived next door to me in the upstairs also. And then there was 2 apartments downstairs. And this friend of mine, he goes knocks. It was like late at nighttime, like around. It was about 7. He goes knocks on my door, and he goes, "Hey, Rudy, give me a hand. He goes, his name was my compadre's name was Danny. He goes, "Danny's in the car, man. He's in the back seat, and I can't get him out because this guy was small, I mean, I'm 5'8", and I was about at the time. I think I was about 200 pounds, but then I was lifting, I was pretty strong, I could easily lift, my compadre. He was only, I think he weighed he was short, man. He was like 5'4" maybe, but he probably weighed, under 200 pounds easily. So then, he goes, "Yeah, man, he's in the car, man. I can't wake him up." So then I go to the car, so then I go to the car, and he's sitting in the back seat, and then I'm like, Danny, wake up. And the other guy, he's like trying to wake him up, man. He's like slapping him like really hard, slapping him in the face, and he's like knocked out in the back seat. Well, I go, help me get him out of the car first. So then we stood him up. I stood him up, and then once I stood him up, I go, let me pick him up like a fireman, So I got him. I got his arm over my head, and then I lifted him up, and then I started walking with him, but then I lost my balance, and I went, whoa, boom, and I dropped him, and he hit the ground with his back, and all I heard was him going, "Oh," and and then he didn't. And he still didn't wake up. That's how far out he was. He drank so much, and then I go, okay, help me, pick him up again, and then the thing is, I had to carry him up the stairs, because he lived upstairs, second floor. So then once I got a good grip on him, got my arm, underneath his, by his legs, right underneath his butt, so it wouldn't fall down. And put his on my shoulder, the rest of them. So then I carried him up there, and then I knocked on his mom's door, and I go, "Hey, Danny," and she's like, She tells me, she goes, "See, this is the reason I like when he goes out with you, and then doesn't go out with somebody else, because you don't have to carry him into the house, when you bring him back home." I go, "Yeah," and then I saw him the next day, and I go, "Hey, Danny, how you doing, man? What's up? Hey, how's it going? Hey, so do you remember last night?" He goes, "Yeah, I remember last night." And he told me everything, and I go, "Yeah, so how'd you get upstairs?" "Oh, I walked upstairs." I go, No, you didn't." I'm like, "Yeah, I did." I go, "Nah, you don't even remember, man. I even dropped you on the floor once, and you still didn't wake up." He didn't even remember. I mean, that's how drunk he was, And then he had a girlfriend, and she always, she would go with us sometimes, and this girl, he had already 2 kids with her. Then he was gonna have another third kid. She was already pregnant again with the third kid, and then I'm like, "Oh my God, he's already pregnant. She's pregnant again." And then I told him, I go, "Well, one day he's all, hey, you want to go?" I told Danny, "Hey, you want to go cruising?" And then I told him, "Okay, I'll go. We'll go cruising." And then we're going cruising, and then he goes, "Hey, can you go to this girl's house?" I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" It wasn't even his girlfriend. He was over there. He was over there screwing around with some other girl. Some other girl. I'm like, "Oh my God!" I told Danny, I go, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to do this, dude. You sure?" And it's like I don't want to, have that happen, because I'm like, he's, your girlfriend, remember you have 2 kids with her, and I know you're not married with her, you're not married to her, but still, you shouldn't be fooling around on your girlfriend, she's, and she it wasn't the first one that he fooled around on her, So then, let's see who's in here. Who's in here? Let's see. Somebody called Nobody. Ghostface. Fournette. Hey, Ghost. Live feedings. What's up? Steven, what's up? What's up? Roy and Becky, hey, welcome. Yeah, Roy. It's crazy stuff that they buy, and they try to take it in a small little car. Yeah, hey there, 40. Hey, yeah. So then. Yeah, long nap. Hey, Mulholland. Yeah, so then here we go. So then we finish cruising. Then we come home. I pull into my parking lot, And then right as I'm putting into my parking lot, the girl he's with, she's sitting in the middle, and then my compadre, he's sitting in the other side. He's in the other the. I have a two-seater, but I have like it's a stick shift, and it has like a console where you can sit on there. I put a blanket. It legally it can only sit two in the front, but then we park, and then when I'm pulling into the parking lot, here comes Danny's other, his real girlfriend. She's like coming. She's already pregnant with a baby. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, damn it, Danny. Didn't I tell you, dude? Look at this. You're in big trouble, dude. So then I park, and I'm like, oh shit. And he opens up the door, and then he tries to stop her, but he doesn't. She's bigger than him. So she throws Danny out of the way, and then she's like, I'm in the car, and the girl's like this, and then she like gets into the car. She starts like hitting this girl in the car, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, you know what? Get out of the car, dude. Get out, get out of the car, man. Hey, all right. Stop hitting her, man. And then Danny's like trying to say, oh no, she's not with me. She's with Rudy. She's with me. She's not with. And I'm like, no. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm not getting involved in this one. And this one, I told him, I go, you don't lie, man. Don't get me involved, dude. I'm like, get me involved? No. I'm like, so they got off. They got off, and then it's like, that's it, man. Never again. I told him, never again, man. If it's your regular girlfriend, yeah, she can have a ride. You can have a ride, but no, we're not picking up any girls that are gonna be with you, and I'm not gonna, because I don't want to have any problems with his girlfriend. I mean, she was a nice person, and he had 2 kids with her already, and getting a third one. It's like, and then I was the godfather of one, so I go, nah. I go, don't do it, man. No more. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. I'm here already. Thanks for coming in, everybody. Roy and Becky, go check out Roy and Becky. They have a great channel too. You can find them. I have them also on my channel list. And I think I've had them also in my community tab. But go check them out. They have a great channel. And thanks everybody for coming in. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending wherever you are in this world. And God bless you, everybody. And thanks for coming in. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Till next time, everybody, have a good one. And as Keys says from Keys Constrictors, call your mama, tell her you love her, because you never know how long you're going to have her. So God bless you. Bye-bye, everybody.